This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand for Monday, March 27. I'm Gary Dick. It is perhaps the biggest economic development deal ever for Terre Haute, Oregon-based Intech planning a $1.5 billion EV battery components plant with more than 640 jobs. Terre Haute Mayor Duke Bennett says the company has indicated there could be additional investment down the road.
They wanted to be in the Midwest. That was their primary target, which is, obviously good for all of us around here in the Midwest. But having a shovel-ready site, there's a little bit of utility work that's going to have to be done, just very small amount. The capacity's there. They thought our workforce availability was going to be what they needed, and the colleges, schools that we have here are going to be able to produce the kind of people they need to work there. So that was another fit. And I think they just really like working with us. I mean, that always comes down to the end. Do they like working with the local community? And so I think we put on, a really good initial conversation, because if you think about this, the conversation didn't even start till October and it closed this week. That's pretty fast for a project of this size. And so I think all those things coming together led to that.
Mayor Bennett says in addition to geography, education played a role in Intech's decision to land in Vigo County. Jonathan Nally, the CEO of Ascension St. Vincent, the largest health system in central Indiana by number of beds, will leave his position April 28. That announcement late last week from corporate parent St. Louis-based Ascension. An Ascension spokeswoman told IBJ no other members of the leadership team are leaving. A partnership between a state agency known best for tourism and a not-for-profit veterans organization brought more than 400 veterans to Indiana to work in civilian jobs last year. The Indiana Destination Development Corporation and InVets designed a program to boost Hoosier workforce by painting Indiana as an attractive quality-of-life destination amid a big worker shortage. The board of directors for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Northwest Indiana has selected Mike Jessen as the organization's next president and CEO. Jessen currently serves as city administrator in Valparaiso. He's also a member of the Porter County Council. From the state's number one source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Get ready, Southwest Indiana. We're headed your way. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the second annual Engage Southwest Indiana event, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. Tuesday, April 11th at the Old National Events Plaza in Evansville. We'll be diving into regional and statewide initiatives with a focus on talent, education, and issues shaping our economy. More at ibj.com/engage. Ascend Indiana, an initiative of the Central Indiana Corporate Partnership, continues to grow its list of partnerships with universities that want to take advantage of the initiative's online job matching platform. Indiana State University, the latest school to connect with Ascend Network, a platform that helps to connect students with Indiana jobs and internships. More than 600 employers are currently using that network. Carmel-based TVF Inc. has announced President Ted Callahan will assume full leadership of the global textile supplier. He succeeds current CEO Chris Fredericks. Fredericks will become CEO of Empowered Ventures, a holding company that was launched by TVF's employee owners. The Indiana State Department of Agriculture has awarded 56 farming families with the Hoosier Homestead Award. That honor recognizes farms that are owned by the same family for more than 100 consecutive years. You can find the complete list at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. IU Health CEO Dennis Murphy is my guest this week on the Business and Beyond podcast presented by PNC. It's a weekly conversation with achievers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond, and you can download it at Apple or wherever you find your podcasts. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.